Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about rational inequality. Here are some tips that will help you when solving rational inequality. Let's look at this example. When solving rational inequality, first, please do not cancel any similar factor. So for example here, students always make mistake by cancelling x plus 1 on the left and x plus 1 on the right. This is the common mistake among the students. Then second tip, please do not cross multiply the denominator unless it is very sure that the denominator is always positive. So since students always get confused in this case, so to avoid making mistake, students are always asked to shift the terms to the left, but not doing cross multiply. So let's look at this example. So when solving this inequality, so first, please do not cancel off the x plus 1 and also not cross multiply. What we do is we shift the term on the right to the left. So after that, we need to simplify into single fraction. So means we need to combine these two fractions. So in order to combine the fractions, so first we need to make the denominator the same. So on the right hand side, 1 plus x plus 1. So we need to simplify the numerator. The denominator is always the same. So next, what we need to do is we need to find out what is the value of x that makes this numerator become 0, and what is the values of x that make this denominator becomes 0. So to do that, we just set the numerator, which is 1 minus x equals 0. So x it is 1. So means 1 will make the numerator equal to 0. So as the denominator, when x equals negative 1, this value of x will make the denominator becomes 0. So next, we need to mark these values by using a number line. So the number line starts from negative infinity, then negative 1, 1 and positive infinity. Then this value divide the number line into 1, 2, 3, 3 regions. Now we look at x equals 1. Since x equals 1 comes from the factor 1 minus x, which is the numerator, means x equals 1 is included in this inequality. So we label it as the solid circle. Then the x equals negative 1 comes from x plus 1, which is the denominator, and we know that denominator is not allowed equals to 0. So we use an empty circle here. Now we need to test all the factors in the inequality to find out what is the value of these factors in each interval. Now let's test the first factor. Now we need to test what is the value of 1 minus x in this interval where x is less than negative 1. To do this, just pick out one of the value of x in this interval, which is less than negative 1. Let's say we choose x equals -2. Then we just substitute x equals -2 into 1 minus x, and we found that the value is +3. However, we are not interested at the value, but we just want to know the value is a positive or negative. So in this case, it is a positive. So means we just need to put the positive here. We can also choose other value. Let's say when x it is equal to -3, 1 minus x it is +4. So it is still a positive value. Now we repeat the same process in the interval when x it is -1 up to +1. Let's choose x equals 0. So when x it is equal to 0, 1 minus x it is equal to +1. So it is a positive value. So means we just need to put the positive sign here. For the interval 1 up to +∞, let's choose x equals 2. So when x equals 2, 1 minus x it is equal to -2. So it is a negative value. So we just put a negative sign here. Now we test the second factor. This is x plus 1 squared. Now for the interval which x less than -1, so let's say we choose x equals -2. When x equals -2, we sub into x plus 1, it is -1. But since power 2 here, so it becomes +1. So it is a positive value. Now we continue for the rest of the interval. So we found that in between -1 up to 1, it is positive because power 2. And in between 1 to +∞, also positive because power 2. Now after testing all the factors, now we combine the result in order to get the fractions. So it is 1, we want to combine, we want to get 1 minus x divided by x plus 1 power 2. Since positive divided positive, so the answer is also positive. Then for the second interval, also positive divided positive, so the answer is positive. Then for the interval where x is greater than 1, the numerator is negative divided by the denominator positive. Now the answer is negative. Since the inequality is greater than or equal to 0, so means we need to take the interval which will produce a positive value. So that is the interval from -1 up to 1 will produce positive, and for the x less than -1 will produce positive. So therefore we can write the answer for this inequality, that is from negative up to -∞ up to -1, not included -1. Then from -1 up to +1, not included -1 but included +1. Now let's try to solve this inequality. First, we need to shift all the terms on the right hand side to left hand side. So that is 5 shift to left hand side becomes -5. Then after that we need to combine so that it becomes a single fraction. So to do that, we need to make the denominator the same, where 5 multiplied with x power 2 plus 2. Then after that, we need to simplify the numerator. The denominator remains the same. So first we expand the negative 5. So negative 5 becomes negative 5 power 2. Negative 5 plus 2 becomes negative 10. Then we rearrange the numerator, becomes negative 5 x power 2 plus 27x minus 10 over x power 2 plus 2 less than 0. Now we need to factorize this quadratic numerator. But now we see that this is a negative quadratic. Normally, students always make mistake when doing factorization involving negative quadratic. So in order to reduce the chances of the student making mistake, so we need to change the negative quadratic into positive quadratic. So in order to do this, we need to factorize the negative. Becomes negative 5x squared minus 27x plus 10. Then the negative we need to change to positive. When we change this negative to positive, one thing is very important is the arrow here. Arrow here must be turned, becomes greater than. So this is very important step that students always forget. After this, we can factorize this quadratic numerator becomes 5x minus 2 multiply x minus 5. Now we need to set each of the factor here into 0 such that we can find the value of x that make each of the factor here become 0. So when 5x minus 2 equals to 0, x is 2 over 5. When x minus 5 equals 0, x is equal to 5. When the factor x power 2 plus 2 equal to 0, but we found that x power 2 is negative 2. So this means that we don't have any solution for value of x, because we know that x power 2 should be greater than 0. It shouldn't be equal to negative 2. So means we have no solution here. Now we mark these values of x on a number line. So we start from negative infinity, 2 over 5, 5, and positive infinity. Now since 2 over 5 comes from 5x minus 2 and 5 comes from x minus 5, so these two values are included in the infinity. So we use the solid circle. Then the region of this number line has divided into 3 regions. First, we test 5x minus 2. For the values x less than 2 over 5, we found that 5x minus 2 is negative. When x is greater than 2 over 5 and less than 5, 5x minus 2 is a positive value. And when x is greater than 5, 5x minus 2 is also a positive value. Now we test the factor x minus 5. When x is less than 2 over 5, x minus 5 is negative. When x is in between 2 over 5 up to 5, x minus 5 is also negative. Then when x is greater than 5, x minus 5 is positive. Now we test the x power 2 plus 2. Since we know that x power 2 is always positive, when a positive value plus a positive value means x power 2 plus 2 is always positive for these three intervals. Now we need to combine all these results so that we want to find the final result, which is for 5x minus 2 multiply x minus 5 divided by x power 2 plus 2. Now for x less than 2 over 5, negative times negative divided by positive, we will get a positive value. Then for x in between 2 over 5 up to 5, positive times negative divided by positive, we will get a negative value. Now as for x greater than 5, positive multiply positive divided by positive, then the result is positive. Now since the inequality is greater than or equal to 0, so means we need to take the interval value of x which produce the positive value. So based on the diagram, that is for x less than 2 over 5 and also x greater than 5. So therefore the solution is for the interval which is less than 2 over 5 included 2 over 5, and also from 5 up to infinity included 5. Now let's try to solve this inequality. So first we need to shift the terms on the right to the left. And please keep in mind that please do not do cross multiplication. So after shift to the left, we need to combine, becomes a single fraction. So before this, we need to make the denominator the same. So means the first fraction need to multiply with 3x minus 4. The second fraction need to multiply with 1 minus x. Then we try to simplify the numerator, and means we need to expand x minus 2 with 1 minus x. And the denominator is unchanged. So after simplifying the numerator, we will get x power 2 minus 2. And the denominator is 1 minus x times 3x minus 4. Now, we put x power 2 minus 2 equals 0 in order to find the values of x. So we found that x is plus and minus square root of 2. Then when 1 minus x equals 0, we found that x is equal to 1. So when 3x minus 4 equals 0, then x is 4 over 3. Now we try to mark this value by using a number line. So we start from the smallest value, that is negative square root of 2, followed by positive 1, followed by 4 over 3, then positive square root of 2, then positive infinity. So now this value has, this number line has already been divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regions. Now we test x power 2 minus 2. When x is less than negative square root of 2, since negative square root of 2 is approximate to negative 1.4, so we can choose a number negative 2 to substitute into here. So when x is negative 2, we found that the value is a positive value. For the x in between negative square root of 2 up to 1, the value is a negative, and from 1 up to 4 over 3, the value is a negative, and for the value of x between 4 over 3 up to square root of 2, since 4 over 3 is approximate as 1.33 and square root of 2 is approximate as 1.4, so we can choose a number 1.35 to substitute into here. So we found that the value is a negative. Then for x greater than square root of 2, the value is a positive value. Now let's test the vector 1 minus x. When x is less than negative square root of 2, the value is positive. When x is in between negative square root of 2 up to 1, the value is positive. And when x is in between 1 to 4 over 3, it is negative. When in between 4 over 3 up to square root of 2, it is negative. And finally, greater than square root of 2, it is negative. Now we test the factor 3x minus 4. For x less than negative square root of 2, the value is negative. From negative square root of 2 to 1, the value is negative. From 1 to 4 over 3, it is negative. From 4 over 3 up to square root of 2, it is positive. And greater than square root of 2, it is positive. Now we need to combine all the factors so that we will get the final answer for x power 2 minus 2 divided by 1 minus x and 3x minus 4. So from here, you can see when positive divided by positive and negative, we will get a negative. When negative divided by positive and negative, we will get positive. So when negative divided by negative and negative, we will get negative. Then negative, negative and positive, that is positive. Then finally, positive, negative, positive, we will get negative. So now since the inequality is greater than or equal to 0, so we will choose the interval where the answer is positive. That is in between negative square root of 2 up to 1 and from 4 over 3 up to square root of 2. Now we look at the boundary values. Since negative square root of 2 comes from x power 2 minus 2, so it is equal to 0, so means negative square root of 2, it is included in the answer. and same as positive square root of 2, it is included. Then as for 1, because 1 is the denominator and also 4 over 3 is the denominator, so we know that denominator cannot be equal to 0, so means 1 and 4 over 3, it is not included in the answer. So therefore the solution for this inequality is the interval from negative square root of 2 up to 1 included negative square root of 2 but not included 1, and also from 4 over 3 up to square root of 2 included square root of 2 but not included 4 over 3. Now we look at this example. If the inequality consists of negative value in front here, so we need to change this negative value becomes positive value. This is because normally students will forget about this negative value when solving the inequality. So first we need to change negative becomes positive. But when we change negative becomes positive when solving the inequality, the important thing is we must change the arrow, the direction of this arrow, so becomes greater than 0. Then after that, then we try to solve, where we try to put x plus 5 equals 0. Then from there we found that x is negative 5. Then when 3 minus x is equal to 0, we got x is equal to 3. Then for x power 2 plus 5 equals 0, so we found that x power 2 is a negative value. So this shows that we don't have any solution for this, because x power 2 should be greater than 0. So next, for x minus 2 equals 0, x is equal to 2. Now we try to mark these values of x on a number line. So we start from the smallest value, which is negative 5, then followed by 2, then followed by 3, then up to positive infinity. So this number line has been divided into 4 regions. So first we try to test x plus 5. For x less than 5, it is negative. For x in between negative 5 to 2, positive. 2 to 3, positive, and greater than 3, positive. Then for the factor 3 minus x, less than negative 5, it is positive. Negative 5 to 2, it is positive. 2 to 3, positive, and greater than 3, negative. Then for x power 2 plus 5, since x power 2, we will always get positive value. Positive value plus a positive value, so means x power 2 plus y, x power 2 plus 5 is always positive for all the values of x. Then we go to x minus 2 power 2. Same as x power 2 plus 5. For all the values of x, we found that x minus 2 power 2 is always positive because power 2 here. So therefore, for all the values of x, it is positive. Now we need to combine all the factors in order to get the final answer. That is for 2x plus 5 multiply 3 minus x divided by x power 2 plus 5 times x minus 2 power 2. So for the first interval, when we combine negative, positive, 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 we will get negative. Then from negative 5 to 2, all positive, means the answer also positive. Then from 2 to 3, since all are positive, so means final answer is positive. Then for greater than 3, positive, negative, positive, positive, then finally we will get negative. Since the inequality is greater than 0, means we need to take the region which is positive. So from here we can see that that is x greater than negative 5 up to 2, then from 2 up to 3. Now we look at the boundary values. Since the inequality is greater than 0 but not equal to 0, so negative 5 and 3 are not included in the answer. This one is same as 2 because 2 is the denominator. So therefore, the 3 boundary values are not included in the final answer. So therefore, the final answer for this inequality is the values of x from negative 5 up to 2, not included negative 5, not included 2, and from 2 up to 3, not included 2 and not included 3.